Okay, now if you talk about laning advantage in towards the Clash lane, first thing I can think of is the Byron you mentioned, and then there seem to be more battle tanks introduced in towards this meta. We've seen the IKL Clash lanes pick up things like the Bai Chi, the ultimate weapon, for example, and also the Lubu. So these are available options for Team HAQ to venture into. But if we talk about tempo, if we talk about momentum in the early game, a shift of different philosophies maybe is to try out Pei, the Tigeress, or Ukyo Tachibana, the Swift Strike.
Yeah. Incredibly, yeah. Get that speed, that aggressiveness, right? Start with a good early game. I think that will really set things up. But again, it's power picks, right? You cannot be down 0-2. I feel like this is a must-win game for Team HAQ because if you're down 0-2, it is a world of hurt and it's a struggling position to play from.
It's 3 back-to-back games that you actually have to come back on towards to, and there is actually stake in this BO5 because we talk about both teams. Yes, they're 0-1 in standings, but they need the 1 win and also the subsequent one to force a potential tiebreaker with their opponents that could potentially end up in second place. So that's all they need to do in this series. Try your absolute best, get the BO5 win, but Team HAQ's first decision in the draft will be the Forged Maiden, Chicha being locked in, flexible into 3 lanes.
Yeah, flexible. I think that's the biggest piece, right? I mean, it's a hugely, very strong hero to pick first, and you have a lot of options in terms of which direction they go, depending on what Boom Esports look to counter with. So it's a smart pick. But it was funny because we were talking to Miggy the other day, and we're kind of like, hey, what does he think about Haya and as well as Chicha? And he was saying both of these picks almost insta-pick ban almost every game. Like, they have that game-changing potential, and so it's going to be incredibly strong. It looks like they're kind of, they went with the Ogren Luna ban, a little bit more conservative ones, and they kind of let that one go. So we'll see exactly how Boom Esports are going to counter here.
It's more of a rinse and repeat from the game 1 strategy that Boom Esports proposed, right? It's like, okay, Luna, Ogren, things that are strong in the jungle that Bai can realistically use, but they also missed out the Pei Byron that we mentioned in the pre-game draft. Locking these two in, making a shift of momentum, no longer in the hands of the side lane to play that mid-lane game team fight, but it's the early tempo that's going to be on the hands of Bai in the jungle.
Yeah, I feel like Amu from the coach from Team HAQ is listening in right now, and we were talking about how Pei and Byron were so good, and he picks it himself, right? We clearly manifested that, right?
I think it's 1, we-manifesting it, 2, Team HAQ's understanding on the meta itself and the potential fixes towards their winning capability, right? The percentage, right? If certain things don't work out, you need to look for active changes instead of just laying down there, accepting fate. It's like, okay, this is my fate. I shall lay down and wait for it.
Yeah. You can't wait around. You got to make it happen, right? And I think that this is the biggest thing where, if you're looking at what Boom Esports are looking to do, they're thinking about it. I mean, the Lapu Lapu really just kind of solidifies that counter initiation, gives them a little bit of space, but it looks like they're going to go with the Broken Mirage right here. This is going to be an interesting one because, again, how fast can Carl be here?
It's always nice to see jungle assassin matchups between 2 teams. We have Team HAQ's Bai on the Tigeress, you have Boom Esports Carl on towards Jing, and every season that we watch Carl play, there's always a statement that we put on towards it. He loves those assassins. Now, getting on his hands on this assassin, it also gives Danny a leeway. We've seen Long with the tanky build. It didn't work out really well, but it's actually really meta right now. You go to Force Scar Embrace, you go to Axe of Torment, you go semi-tank, and assassins that like to dive deep, like, for example, the Forged Maiden, the Tigers, it doesn't really do well into tag long.
Yeah, it doesn't do as great. Keeping him alive. Plus, you have that. I don't know what it is. It doesn't seem like they've been able to kind of take him down. I mean, it kind of keeps them off guard in the sense that he's like a little tankier than he should be. Plus, he has that infinite vastness, which is like that get out of jail free card. He's a lot tougher to take down, and he does need to stay alive. But going into this one, I mean, you have the Pei, you have the Nuo with that long range. Once that pounce happens, you have that potential burst. So I do think in this one that you probably want to go a little defensive. You just need to stay alive here as that loop.
That's fully well explained, right? Because in terms of like the counters that we see, why do we always say like, oh, Nuwa counters Long. How does it work? It's because like when you pop that ultimate on the Long, the infinite vastness, you fly around the sky, you come back down. Enemy actually has vision, right? So when you come down, you are, I would say, you're not stunned. You're like, you just cannot move, right? You come down, you fly down, enemy has vision, right? So the Nuwa, the Celestial's ultimate, can just snipe you from afar, and if you don't flash, you will get hit by it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, basically, whenever you're landing, it's like an airplane landing. Like, you need permission to land. It's the most obvious place. Yeah, permission to land. And as you do, obviously, the Annihilation, as you're talking about, from that Nuwa can easily snipe him out. So, again, it comes back to that last piece. Is he able to snipe him out? This game is going to be interesting. But, again, if we're talking about the drafts, even from game 1 to this game, I kind of feel like Team HOK's drafts are pretty solid, though.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Game 1's draft was strong side lanes and also strong mid game with the Yangjin Dahlia. Game 2's draft also winning side lanes and a very aggressive jungle, but not forgetting about the late game cover coming in by the Celestial Nuwa here. So I want to see the fix, lesser laning mistakes, lesser mid game teamfight mistakes, and then we see a proper 10th minute teamfight by these two teams.
Yeah, don't play passive. I think that that's the biggest thing, the biggest change that Team HOK need to do in terms of how they want to play this. You have the pay, you have the Byron. This is a huge win in terms of that top side of the map. So you got to be aggressive, play to your strengths, and then get that little bit of a lead, and then hopefully that will turn into a much bigger snowball so that you have a chance.
And towards the early game itself, in the laning phase at the very least, it seems to me as a repeat of last game. Still, Danny pretty much in control. We see a bit of a gold share coming in by the side of Team HOK, getting that pay farmed up as fast as possible. Oh, he stole that Azure Golem!
Did he? Oh my gosh.
Katsuri has Azure Golem on him!
Yeah, he does. He did take that away. I mean, that's going to slow him down. That's a perfect way to counter also the early aggressive play by Bai. And he's got to be a little frustrated because, again, all the buffs really matter, especially early.
Oh, that's not going to be good coming in for side of Team HOK here. You want the pay to be online as soon as possible, but due to the fact that you miss out this Azure Golem, we see on our screen right now at 1 minute 30, pay is now level 4, which is really slow for the pay standard. And what does it actually translate to? Side lane objectives like the River Sprite having to be given over to the side of Boom Esports.
Yeah, it's a feels bad man right now, and they find at least draw. He's going to get back to safety, but this is going to be one of those things where now he's slowly farming. He needs help from Nuo, who will kind of just shepherd him around to speed up some of that farm.
Oh, Miggy's position here. If he stuns John, that's going to be a lot of engage.
Oh, the force field suppression is not going to be enough, and that's perfectly set up for Carl to take first blood. What a great play by Miggy there.
On the board, catches on towards Mono here, has the flash, doesn't have the ultimate here. He will be limping away with the final flash after the board expires.
Yeah, he'll take that one. I think that, I mean, the board was pretty nice, but Nuo, I mean, he has a lot of sustain, that unending sorrow as well, but the flaming palm from Danny doing some work, and he's been very aggressive, not even giving him any sort of space. And now with those minions gone, that's a small reprieve, at least for Team HQ.
And let's talk about the new Spriteling troop that's added into the game, right? Because that is a pretty big cooldown compared to the previous Spriteling system. This new Spriteling, AoE shield, slows the enemy, gives you added movement speed. That's also AoE as well, but at the cost of a 2-minute cooldown. So if you use it at the 2-minute mark, you're not going to be having it online at the important Tyrant fight.
Yeah. And actually, that's the biggest thing, right? I mean, the long cooldown, but I mean, everyone's got one. But the biggest thing for me, this is like a psychological, mental warfare, right? When you get the kill, then you plant the flag on top of their corpse. I mean, that could do some serious mental damage.
It's an interesting one, right? It's like a semi-taunting style where it's like,
exactly.
I died, and I was like, oh my god, it's the enemy's country flag, but born here.
Oh, it looks like they've got a nice little 2-man stun, and the Unending Sorrow dodging most of this. Bai is going to get back to safety. He stays alive, but Boom Esports made it very close.
Now, it goes back to our discussion on towards the Spriteling troop. Look at that Tick Shield. It actually saved Bai. You also have to give props towards Nuo because of that Unending Sorrow, getting that key healing on towards at the very last second. But you can see, if you play it and utilize it well, it really gives you that edge that you need to survive in some of these burst situations.
Yeah, it's all about that small sustain. And I mean, Yuan is still very strong, right? I think it's still a hero that, like, yeah, it's been kind of hit in terms of, oh, looks like they find Carl goes in for this one, finds Bai. Oh, all he wants to do is farm and be left alone, and Carl is making it happen. And nice little board that's been set up. They've got him locked in, but John gets under the tower. Here comes Danny, the flaming palm, gets the snipe, and John goes down.
Losing Bai, losing John, losing the Azure Golem. Everything is looking so darn bad for the side of Team HAQ, and Miggy is just casually 1v3 zoning against Man Lola Nor, leaving the mid tower to be taken at the 4th bit mark. It's a disaster for Team HAQ.
Oh, absolute disaster at this stage. I mean, you were talking about, we were talking about how this pay really needs to get going. You have a huge early game lead, but Boom Esports have all the leads, right? It's not even 5 minutes, and they're like 2K behind. This is a world of hurt for them, and Boom Esports have been so good with this map control.
Bai here trying to take a bit of a recovery resource, but Carl is slowly pacing. He sees it, he knows it's in the bush, and he finds Bai. Okay, Bai leads away towards safety here.
Yeah, he pounces away. Bai is just running for his life, and Carl's like, that's how you want to play. I mean, he's taking away one of the buffs right now, but Bai right now needs to catch up. He needs to be using that mobility to potentially get some more steals and get themselves back in this game. John goes in for the Storm Strike, finding Tatsuri. He's in a bad spot. He's going to dodge most of this one, somehow staying alive. Lola is going to have to flash under the tower. He's going to be fine. This tower is going to do a little bit of work in terms of this defense here, but they're going to continue to chip away. They do have minions. Tatsuri is very low. He needs to ensure that Mon doesn't get the snipe. The Annihilation had been used, but Tatsuri is just going to recall on back.
Ooh, every single mad movement that's being committed by Boom Esports, Team HAQ has no apparent answers here. Yes, you don't drop in terms of kills or in terms of deaths, but you can't really do realistically anything. Like, look at Carl. 1v2, 1v3, stealing away the Azure Golem, but I can't do anything.
And that's the frustrating part, right? Especially when you're going up against the Jing, you want to take away his buffs, right? And you see how Team HAQ have not been able to be aggressive, have not been able to invade, and Boom Esports are imposing their will on Team HAQ and making them play a defensive reactive game, which is a losing game.
And it's also really concerning because you expect Lola and also John on these strong early game picks to find those aggressive leads that could elevate Bai's potential on this pay. But due to the fact that the early game has so many good setups coming in by Miggy and also Carl, it's really difficult for these side lanes to actually provide any value here. Tatsuri having to pop the flash.
Yeah, he pops the flash. There's just too many members of Team HAQ right now. They really wanted to go for that, but they take the top T2 instead. Miggy decided to go Heaven and Earth mode. He's going to just kind of get in front of this one, dealing with John, but he's going to be pushed back eventually. And it looks like Boom Esports, without any minions, won't really continue on with this push here as they wait for at least the mid lane.
Ooh, round 2 here. Flaming Bomb landing on towards the tier 2, putting more pressure here. This tower seems to be falling down real soon, and there we go here. So, for me, Team HAQ's draft makes a lot of sense. But if you lose early, it puts you into a situation where you have no solid engage once again. But look at John.
Oh, the Storm Strike. Tatsuri, they find him and they eventually take him down. That's going to be a huge one. Their first kill right now. And Draw looking to go for revenge. Miggy showing up on this one. Finds it. And John trying to just flash away. But here comes Carl. And they do have the damage. And John gets picked off. He's just not tanky just yet. But looks like Boom Esports have traded away. It's going to be a 1-for-1.
Yeah, good active play here coming in from the side of Team HAQ's Clash lane John, finding the flash from Tatsuri. Because we saw from the moment that Tatsuri burned the flash in the mid lane thanks to Bai, that is a key information received by Team HAQ to find that play. At the very least, it slows down the pursuit coming in from Boom to push the lead even further. Danny here being boxed out, look at those creation blocks, having to back away. So this Crimson Golem is freed from the pursuit from Boom Esports.
Yeah, it was, I mean, they threw everything at them, right? To ensure that they secure that Crimson Golem. Because Bai cannot lose yet another buff. It's not even 10 minutes at this stage. I mean, they have a 4K lead, Boom Esports, at this stage. And it seems like almost everything is going in their favor. But again, just look at how they're positioning. Everything is being contested.
super aggressive positioning coming in from Draw and also Miggy. Actively just scouting out the bushes here, giving as much information to Danny and also Tatsuri as much as possible. And right now, look at Draw. He's using that spell one, getting control, pushing the member of the Team HAQ back in their own base.
Are you trying to say that he's trying to draw them out? Huh? I'll
to
show
draw
myself.
their attention? Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Oh, good. We can move on. But yeah, Draw's taking a decent amount. He will be backing off. I mean, he's doing his job, right? That's kind of what you want to do on the Lapu Lapu. So again, just be up front, provide that vision, and just kind of make people like, feel a little bit scared.
Yep, that's going to be the final objective as well, as we pace into that 10-minute shadow objective mark. He dogged on towards John here, enters it, and gets caught by the board.
Oh, completely diving in. They are not scared. Boom Esports finding a couple pickoffs early, looking to turn that into a bottom T3. Boom Esports taking everything from them, and Team HAQ right now just trying to hold on. They don't really have the minions. They plant their flags, but what more can they do? They still have 4 members. Boom Esports thought about going in. Looks like they're going to regroup right now.
Yep. Quick 2 kills, getting that bot tier 3. Miggy goes in, trying to zap onto his bot, gets the kill! Oh my goodness.
Oh, Miggy, the disrespect. He's going to trade his life away. I mean, he really wanted that kill, but he thought about going. Carl is looking to dive on this one. Needs to be a bit careful. Space created. They take the mid T3. The emergence, that will be popped on forward. He tries to go in, but he gets instantly deleted. Oh, it turns into a bit of a disaster, and now they turn him. They do have John locked in. The Storm Strike on forward. He decides to go all in, tries to make the play, doesn't make it, but they do end up getting Draw in return.
Yeah, the failing arrow marks on towards Draw here. You can't flash away, you can't dodge away as long as you're marked by Chicha. Gets the answered kill. At the very least, they delay the shadow objectives being taken by the side of Boom Esports, but at the cost of multiple kills, multiple turrets being surrendered into the walls of PKL. Not gonna be a good news, as we need to see how they progress themselves coming into the shadow objective marks.
No towers taken by Team HAQ. I think that's the biggest, takeaway on this one. That's the struggle, right? They have 0 space. Now they have to deal with the elite minions in the bottom lane. This is going to be tough, right? Boom Esports right now, again, with this map control, they have everything, taking the Tyrant essentially for free. Team HAQ have 0 answers.
0 answers, 0 reactive plays, because we see right now it's a double objective committed by the side of Boom Esports. It means after this objective take, they will be going in for that final push, that final tier 3 in towards the bottom side. So expect the next 2 minutes to be a really difficult time for Team HAQ to survive. If they can survive, maybe the game goes longer, but if they don't, it's instant GG.
Yeah, and look at Boom Esports doing such a good job of chauffeuring that wave forward as well. So it's going to be a push across. It's going to be so tough to go in. And it looks like Carl wants to dive in. Just uses the mirror edge. He's going to dash around and continue to do his AoE damage. But he's getting a little bit low. Needs to be careful. He's going to be picked off on this one. The Unending Sorrow keeping Nuono alive. And it looks like Boom Esports might have overstepped here.
It's a good defense coming in by the side of Team HAQ. Carl being having a bit of over-aggression, missing the ultimate on towards Mud, which resulted into the lack of damage for that finalizer. But look at that flaming pop on towards Bai.
Oh, Miggy tried to go in for the play. He actually flashed it forward. Bai was looking very juicy, not able to find it, but they get another one. Storm Strike, Danny, he's going to get killed here. John gets that play. He gets the double Bai, that is, and he's looking to turn this around. He's on the chase, and it looks like Miggy, he's fighting 1 versus 3. He's going to be picked off by Lola. They have the damage. Team HAQ are going to be happy with the turn of events, but they don't have any towers.
Raging Sea lands over towards Bai here. Bai wants to go for execute here, but look at the hero! Carl comes in with the Shattered Mirror Domain, gets the kill on towards Bai. But still, pretty good trade thus far. I would say a successful defense that's being committed based on Boom Esports' mistakes.
Oh, Draw was like, oh, I need can someone call the police? And Carl shows up at the right moment, ensures that Bai gets picked off. That was like a heroic play by him. Carl has been making his impact heard and felt throughout this entire game, taking everything. This Jing is so annoying.
He's just styling on towards them, using the Mirror Domain, stealing away the Crimson Golem. Let's check out the instant replay, what exactly happened here. We see Carl aggression punishes him on the first play here. John finds a beautiful knockup on towards Danny. CC Chain unable to pop the Infinite Vases to run towards safety here. Miggy left alone between 3 people, and later on, what happened? It was by overextending on the chase on towards draw for Carl to pick up that return kill. But right now, with 3 tier grounds down, we might see the final push.
Oh, Miggy getting about half-life, needs to be a bit careful. John, the force field suppression, keeping him alive. He wants to go for the storm rush, right? But he gets picked off. Boom Esports making him pay, but they are a little on the lower end in terms of the HP pool, but they don't really have the minions. Team HAQ right now will hold the Flaming Palm, almost picking off Newell on the way out.
Yeah, but sacrificing John here. So the next wave that's gonna be coming on all 3 lanes, this is gonna be a difficult one, at the very least for Team HAQ, because John is not only the engager, but also the solid front line that Team HAQ only has in their team.
Yeah, he's not exactly solid anymore. He's died a couple times, so he does have some holes in his body, but still, it looks like Danny's going to be picked off here. It looks like Lola is going to be killed as well. The emergence on forward, Mon's looking to go aggressive, and now with that double from Bai, they actually flash forward. They get draw as well. That's a team ace, and Team HAQ right now, this is an opening. March it down the mid lane.
There is a potential possibility that they could go for the end if they just Hail Mary all the way down, but they take a alternative approach and go for the Tyrant take here on respawn. So right now, 2,000 gold deficit from Team HAQ at 15 minutes. This is no longer a team gold deficit. They are back online, and if you see the draft that's being provided by Team HAQ, their lane game is really solid, especially with the Celestial Lua.
Yeah, I mean, the potential is there, right? But they don't really have any towers. So they're on a bit of a timer because all the lanes will be pushing. So if anything, yes, the net worth is a bit of a wash. Yeah, they have the lead, but still, with all the lanes pushing, now you have to constantly think about the macro game and where the lanes are before you take any sort of team fight.
And for the very first time in this series, Team HAQ has the gold lead against Boom Esports. They're trying to threaten a double objective against their opponents right now. This upcoming 5v5 team fight might finish the game for either of these teams. We see Flaming Palms on towards Normal. That's a lot of damage that's being nailed down on towards the Team HAQ roamer.
Yeah, they need to be a bit careful here. They don't want to go for the 50-50 in terms of that Overlord. It looks like Miggy's going to go aggressive. Not able to do too much, but it did bait out the Unending Sorrow from Newell.
That does spell one thing. It means that they're giving up their total position on this objective here. So they cannot really contest this no more. They have to back off, have to restructure how they play for the following fights later. It may be in the high ground and base of Team HAQ at the blue base. So now, with the Shadow Vanguard being secured by Boom Esports, they might just be preparing themselves for this final push.
Yeah, and if you're kind of watching, you're like, why did Team HAQ just disappear on that one? They had a great position, they had a foothold, but the lanes were pushing, so they had to go defensively, and that opens things up for Boom Esports. Now for this potential final push, they have the board, they have John locked in. They don't want to continue on because they need to be a bit careful. Understanding that actually the damage from Team HAQ is real. They could get bursted.
The Nuwa damage, the Celestial, the creation blocks, those are starting to hurt really hard, especially if you're Tatsuri or Danny, where your range is not as far compared to a Nuwa. So we need to see what kind of engage that's being proposed by Boom Esports to capture the backline. Look at Miggy.
Oh, they find Miggy with the heaven and earth, and it's instantly gold by Mon. He's just going to try to stay alive, but Miggy's going to be picked off. John doing some work, and now he finds Carl. Do they have the control? And they do. That's a double going the way of Lola, and now they're looking to turn this. Can they get any sort of other catch? Taking liberties is just going to zone them away. Now they're on the run, but John wants to make it happen. They run into Vanguards, and now this is a potential push. Mon is dealing with the waves. He will stay back.
And once again, another beautiful flash storm strike coming in from John to deny Danny for any potential counterplay. No farm lane, no jungle carry right now with the death timers being so low. This might be a potential push coming in from Team HAQ to assert their dominance.
Yeah, John doing some serious work on this Byron, but the waves have been taken care of, and it looks like Boom Esports are going to hold at least for now. But Team HAQ, again, off of the back of John, which you rightly pointed out with his Byron, the storm strikes have been real.
Take a look at the live gold graphic here. If you see at the middle point, it was a 7,000 goal lead by Boom Esports, and at one point it was like what? Like 10 kills to 2, no objectives being taken by the side of Team HAQ, but with a flip of a switch, 2 high ground wipeouts coming in by the side of Team HAQ against Boom. They are back at it again, and they are holding a 4,000 goal lead against their opponents.
Yeah, Team HOK needs like 2 or 3 more team wipeouts to just win this game instantly, though. Boom Esports have not made it easy because, again, they don't really have the towers. And with all the lanes pushing, it's very difficult for Team HOK to mount some sort of aggressive play. And now it looks like they find Bai in a bad spot. He's going to be bounced around. That's going to be Sage's Sanctuary. The board is going to be locked in, and that's going to be his prison. Bai will die in the pit.
That's a beautiful roamer item swap coming in by draw, using the house, scouting out the bushes, and capturing by. No Sage Sanctuary, no Destiny, going into a Tempest Dragon fight. You do not want that here, but check out Minion fighting John.
Oh, finding John, but he's going to go aggressive. Gets the nice little Storm Strike onto 2, but it looks like he's going to get gone on. He's going to be focused. He doesn't really have enough to stay alive. Danny gets the pick off on this one, and Boom Esports, it looks like they've gotten this, especially with Bai down for about 15. Here's the Unending Sorrow. He tries to go for the minions, but he's going to sacrifice his life away. Now with only 2 members, how do they hold? The minions are slowly there. Tatsuri gets a little bit on the lower side. He gets picked off. Lola flashes away. He gets back into the fountain. And it looks like Mom was trying to deal with the minions, but Sage's Sanctuary, here comes the minions. The crystal is now under assault, but now Bai is right back up, but he's going to be focused in. Lola, that is. He gets killed here. That's a double going the way of Carl. Bai just trying to stay alive, but the minions are now on point. They go for the crystal, and Boom Esports take a tough game number 2.
At the brink of 20-minute mark, Boom Esports found the opening with the haul coming in by draw, finding the key catch on towards Bai and immediately converting that into a key pickoff on towards John's Byron. And it's an odd number fight, providing so much value in Boom Esports to actually collect that tough win. We saw signs of hope coming in from Team HAQ in acquiring their first game win in KIS4, but to no avail. This was what they had to swallow. Mistakes in these key situations does not allow you to get that clean win.
Yeah, there were mistakes on both ends, right? I mean, Boom Esports, this is a game, they had a 7K net worth lead. They should have just closed it out. But giving the opportunity for Team HAQ, where they kind of stumbled on the high ground and allowed them to get back into this game. But towards the end, that was Team HAQ's game to lose, right? Bai cannot be picked off there. He should not have been killed. If they stayed alive 5 versus 5, they would have had a chance. Unfortunately for Team HAQ, they lose this again. Carl's aggressive play, just really securing that one.
I think if you are on the coaching perspective for both teams, the coaches will be super duper angry on both of their performances. Like, we're not trying to shame any team, but we're just trying to see on a coaching stand viewpoint. For Boom Esports, let's break it down, right? For Boom Esports, you have such a monstrous lead, but you fumbled 2, I would say, almost aces at the enemy high ground, which provided so much tempo back towards the enemy's pocket. From a 7,000 gold lead to a 4,000 or 5,000 gold deficit to your opponents who you dominated so well in the early game. For them, it's really to play more disciplined in ending these games. And for the side of Team HAQ, same could be said. You've managed yourself to find a pretty good comeback, got so much gold deficit and made it into a gold lead, and you fumble at the most important timer, nearing the Tempest Dragon, dropping your most important member, which is the pay for the potential 50-50 smite, and then you're forced by the enemy in that mid lane, one by one after another one. That's a tough one for both of these teams to actually process in the coaching room.
Yeah, I mean, you see, if you're Boom Esports, you're the coach, and you see those guys walking back into the room, and some of them are smiling, you're like, hey, stop smiling. That was not a game worth smiling for, right? We need to ensure that we do not make those sort of mistakes, because any other team, dare I say, in the KIS4 would have made them pay. They would have lost that game. They would have extended it. Every single game where you have a lead, you have to close it out. I mean, Team HAQ played a very valiant game. They had a chance. They had an opportunity, but again, in the end, they actually made some mistakes. So, I mean, I guess in the end, Boom Esports gets that win because of that.
Fully agree, right? Very well said here, and we can check out the stats of the total damage dealt. Why do we say that Nua is one of the best late game mages in this meta? You can see, early game wasn't looking the best coming in for the side of Team HAQ, but if you give resource towards this late game mage, she does so much. She can poke you with the creation blocks, she can use emergence to join fights from afar, she can use the annihilation to snipe targets that she outranges in a global distance. And you can see how well Boom Esports actually dominated the first, I would say, 13 minutes of the game. Check out the damage charts. Aside from the roamer, everybody had 6 digits on towards their board.
Yeah, Yeah, quite a bit here. I mean, look at this gold graph. I mean, we were talking about how Boom Esports, oh, you know, that 10-minute mark, this game is pretty much over, right? But then they stumbled, and they stumbled hard, and it dove deep in terms of the gold graph in favor of Team HAQ there, as they had their opportunities, and my gosh, very, very end, you cannot get caught out, and now you're fighting 4 versus 5 without any sort of towers. That is an unforgivable mistake. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look good at all. It was a smooth yellow bar all towards the bottom side, and then with flip of switch, it's another white one for Team HAQ. Good recovery though, I would say the resilience is there, and it always goes to show that if you don't account for mistakes, in a perfect game, there is still room of error from the enemy team for you to find potential comebacks. This is one of those key examples that you can never put down your guard until the game or crystal is finally over.
Yeah, for sure. That's the best way of putting it. I love the way that you said that, because again, putting up your guards, keeping it up, right? Like your foot is on the gas, put the pedal to the metal, end it, right? You do not actually just lay off, be like, actually, we're winning, we're going to be fine, we're able to close this one. No, teams are too good. They're going to make you pay. And Team HAQ was almost able to do it, almost getting their first win in an international play. It would have been huge for this team in terms of that morale. But again, just too much in the end. Boom Esports, though, in my opinion, they cannot make that sort of mistake again.
Easy to say, much more to learn coming in from both teams. That's why you get to experiment yourselves in the group stage format, where no teams get eliminated even if you're placed last. But how do you convert this learning experience, these EXP points, into your learning, into your database in your brain to perform even better in the playoffs? These are what they need to answer and suck in as professional players and team.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is just like take the onus on yourself, right? You can't be like, oh, I can just like Miggy was kind of, remember when he'd like dove the tower or dove the crystal, he was going for that kill and he sacrifices his own life. Like those are mistakes that's like, why, right? What is the point? Like if we're going in as a team, somebody made the call, let's go. It makes sense. But trying to make that solo heroic play for a single kill, not really worth it in the end. And those are the tiny things that will really bite you in the butt in the end.
Well, I don't know who's going to bite me in the butt though, but I think definitely Carl's biting on that MVP. It will be Broken Mirage, the Jing that's being piloted by Carl in this game too. 7-3-9, we've seen him actively on the map, stealing buffs, stealing objectives, finding those key assassinations to really allow his team to find that monstrous goal lead in the early parts of the game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the amount of impact that he had throughout the game, his ability to dive and to get on out. I mean, sometimes he did get caught out, but in the end, Carl, that's the way you want to play a Jing. You want to ensure that you're able to do that damage. And look at how aggressive they were going into these highlights. They just made Team HAQ's early game miserable.
Like, the setups were beautiful, right? You can see that was not on the screen. Miggy finding John in the side lane, waiting for him to go towards that bush. And then you can see Carl finding the assassination towards the backline. These are key moments that allows the jungle to find more domination against their opponents. Because jungle assassin, there is always a key rule. Minimize death, maximize farm, and you get the item advantage and turn those into raw stats wins.
Yeah. Raw stats. Oh, but this is that turnaround he was trying to go. Gets the pickup. I mean, with Lola there to help clean up. But Team HAQ, their defensive hold, their high ground defense was pretty good and able to kind of being able to extend this game as much as possible because they turned it around. Boom Esports right now, they were like, okay, how do we close this game? And it's super key, especially in the late game. You have to find ways to close them out when you can.
Yeah, and these are the moments where you say like, okay, if I can't close out, what actually results into false hope that actually damages your morale even more, where it's like, man, we have a shot to end the game, but oh no, I made a key mistakes at a certain point. You can see like even Mr. Ayman, which is the owner of the team, is like, oh no, that was so close.
Yeah. I mean, it